Hello, and welcome back, or welcome to Pizzachan's podcast. I will be your host, loud and humble, Pizzachan, or Lizzie if you prefer. Either one, I'll answer to. Even hey you on occasion. Captions, thank you very much. What would I do about Great Cupid? Alright. We are still doing our Season 3 favorite streamer series. Today, we have a guest. What can we say about today's guest? She is fun, sassy, and has amazing commentary on all of the games that she plays. She is the lovely, she is the great MiladySwaggins. Yes. So, let us bring her on, and let's see what she's all about, shall we? Shall we? Shall we do that? Yeah, we should do that, because this is a podcast, and we have to have guests with podcasts, right? Ramble, ramble, ramble. Swaggy, are you there?
Hello!
Hello! How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I was waiting for my cue.
You're cute. The cute. You go, Swag. I just love your name, by the way. It's just so fun
Thank
to
you.
say.
Everybody does.
It's the swag. She can have her swag bag. It's so great. But anyway, welcome to my podcast. Thank you so much for coming on with me today.
No, thank you for having me on.
All right. So, did you have a good morning? It's like afternoon for you guys, right? Like late evening.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's very evening for you
Sorry,
guys.
It's not 8 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock. But yeah, it's still, it's evening.
Okay.
My day is done.
Nice. All right then. So let's just get right into. Let's jump into that barrel of like snapping turtles. Not that you're a barrel of snapping turtles, but still. Tell us about yourself, your favorite hobbies and such.
Well, obviously, my main hobby currently is the streaming. Doing the streaming, and it's always been gaming. Obviously, that's always been a thing. I have on and off dabbled with creative writing.
Oh.
Actually, and I used to write loads of fan fiction. Loads and loads of fan fiction. I don't really do it anymore, which is kind of a shame. But it's a bit of a difficult hobby to keep up because it's quite time demanding. Writing, but I used to do that, and I also am a bit of a musician as well. So I play guitar.
Gasp.
And I sing a little bit.
Okay, let's start with the writing. I myself pretend to be a writer. I've written various fan fictions like Aliens and Resident Evil and K-pop. We're not going to talk about the smut part of the K-pop world because we're just not going to.
The best bit.
Yes, I do. I wrote a lot of that in my time. But yes, Resident Evil. I wrote like an index. Did I ship? I ship a lot. Mostly Carlos and Jill.
Ooh, spicy.
Spicy, yes. I had like an index of like in between moments, like through the Raccoon City explosion thing. It was just like events in between. It was really cool, but I can't find it now because I can't organize my shit. So, but what kind of fan fiction did you write? Final Fantasy, I bet.
How did you know?
I don't know.
My first forte into fan fiction was Final Fantasy. Actually, it was Final Fantasy 13 fan fiction, which is how I got into it. And yes, I did ship, and I wrote fan fiction where I shipped Lightning and Fang in Final Fantasy 13. And then I moved on briefly to Mass Effect. I wrote a little bit of Mass Effect fan fiction. And then my last time writing fan fiction, I was writing for an anime called Ruby.
You know what Ruby is? Oh my god!
Are you kidding me? I love Ruby.
Oh my god! I have a painting of Ruby up all of them on the wall upstairs.
I have a poster in my room.
Oh my god! I love Neptune is my favorite character ever.
Neptune is cool. Weiss is my favorite.
Weiss, of course, Weiss is your favorite. But yes, I love Ruby.
Ice Queen.
See, now you're becoming my bestie because nobody knows about Ruby and I can't talk about it with anybody.
But I mean, I have to admit, the last few seasons, I've not been a huge fan.
Right.
The last few seasons, they've been going off the
little bit of bummer.
A little bit. a little bit of a bummer. But it's looking good for season 9. I watched the premiere and it had an interesting premise.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. But yeah, I've been watching RWBY since it started.
Lovely.
And
Lovely.
I wrote low. I was in the fandom deep at one point, but it's quite toxic, so I backed off a little bit, and now I just watch the show.
That's the problem with writing fan fiction in general. You've got a lot of toxic people that will come and attack you for writing this person with this person or writing something that they don't believe is the right way. So it's bad. But
yeah, definitely.
Fan fiction is amazing. You wrote Mass Effect fan fiction. I haven't read any of those.
Oh, there's some really good ones. Like there's some Mass Effect fan fiction out there that's on par with like, or better than like novels I've read. Like really good stuff.
That's what's so amazing about fan fiction. Sometimes it's better than the stuff that's out there published. It's like, whoa, dude, why aren't you writing for real? I mean, you are writing, but you're just posting it on a website. You're not getting like the moolah for it. But anyway, don't get me.
I will say though, Mass Effect, the smut is wild.
I bet.
I mean, you can imagine.
yes, with science fiction, it's always good to get yourself some spice, right, in that connection.
Oh, it's spicy, all right.
Yeah, spicy. You don't want to don't go too far down into that hole, though.
No, don't go down that rabbit hole unless you're fully prepared for what you're going to.
Right, exactly. I love that. And you said you play guitar. Do you play acoustic or electric?
I used to play electric in my younger days.
In your younger days.
I used to play in a few bands. Actually, I used to play in classic rock bands.
Awesome.
And a couple of punk bands. But then when I got a bit older, I hung up my electric for a semi-acoustic.
Nice.
And just started doing more sort of placid, sort of indie stuff.
Wow, you're just a plethora of cool things all put together. I was like, she can write. She did you say you did a little bit of artistic things too?
Oh, I'm terrible. I'm absolutely horrendous at it, but I try. I enjoy it, so I do it anyway, but I'm not good at art at all.
Well, I mean, as long as you're getting joy out of it, please continue to do whatever it is that you're doing.
Oh, yeah, I mean, anything's worth doing if you're having fun.
It's true. Yes, what can't this lady do? Exactly. Yeah. So, are you a book person or a movie person?
I mean, both, really. I'm definitely, into my films and stuff. Mostly horror movies. I love a horror movie. Mm-hmm. Although I struggle because at the moment I live on my own, and I struggle to watch horror movies when I live on my own. Because I get the heebie-jeebies and then I can't go to bed and it's not worth it. Books, yes, as well. I definitely read a fair bit. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. So I read a lot of King.
Oh my god, The Shining is my ultimate favorite book.
Shining is so good.
I can totally quote it.
It's so good.
It's funny you mentioned the heebie-jeebies because when I moved into my first apartment when I was in college, I had a mattress on the floor, I had a lamp that didn't give a whole lot of light, and I had a dresser, and that was it. And then I was sitting here reading the part in The Shining with the hedges, and I creeped myself out so bad, I was like hiding under the blankets. It's like, no, the hedges, the topiaries are gonna come and get me. No! But I love his style in that book. I love it so much. It's so good. I love his works.
King, you can't go wrong with King. You can't go wrong.
What's your favorite Stephen King book?
I actually prefer the drama stuff that he does. So things like The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
I think my favorite book is The Green Mile.
Oh, I only watched that, and I couldn't read the book, but I watched that once, and I said I'd never watch it again. Great film. Can't watch it again. It hurts.
Yeah, the book is better.
The book is better.
I remember reading it. I was reading the last part of it. I was in the park, and I was sat under a tree. And I was reading it, and I was weeping. And I thought, oh God, I'm crying in public. This is not a good day.
I love that when a book can provoke emotions so hard that you sit there and cry, or you scream and laugh out loud. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to achieve that. All right, and games, of course, but we don't want to get into the game section yet because we're going to talk about that later. Because we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and I promise I will not ramble too much. which is Resident Evil.
You have me on. We have to talk about Resident Evil.
I know.
So it has to be done.
Right. All right.
One of my biggest loves.
Yeah, how could you not love it? I don't understand.
I know, right? I know.
But anyway, we'll ask you the starting question. Why did you start streaming?
Well, when I first discovered Twitch. I've been on Twitch for many years, but I didn't stream. I just watched streamers. And I had an account and I never used it. And then a very good friend of mine, who some people, many people from my community here will know, Dino does.
Mm-hmm.
A very, very good friend of mine, like childhood friend. He was streaming on Twitch, and he kept bugging me about doing it. He said, "Kiz, you'd be really good at it. Like, you should stream because you never shut up. You'd be really good." And I was like, no, I don't know. And it took me ages to come around to it. And my first couple of streams were awful.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely terrible. I didn't know what I was doing. My audio was ridiculous, and I was just nervous, and it was terrible. And then I just started to get into it a bit. But I do it because it's fun. Like, that's the main reason. Once I started to enjoy it, I was like, yeah, I can do this. This is good. This is fun.
It is.
And also you meet people
yes.
when you stream as well. And that's really, really good thing about it. You make friends, and I've met loads of people since I've been streaming.
It is a horror when you first start, though, with trying to figure out how everything works, all the dynamics, and the secret etiquette of Twitch.
Oh yes, the etiquette that some people still don't know.
It's like you get to go into these things and people are like, "Oh my god, you're not supposed to do that." It's like, where is this written? Where? Tell me about the secret society of things I'm not supposed to do, so I don't screw up and make people mad.
You're just supposed to know.
Right.
Nobody tells you.
Nobody tells you. Yeah, it's like somebody should make a book. It's like these things you do not do when you first stream.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like, don't do, like, list of things to not do in other people's chat.
Yes. Yeah, that too.
I think that's almost more important.
Oh my god. There's so many things you don't do. Okay. Really? It's like yeah, whatever. But yeah. The audio, I had a headset when I first started. Oh my god, I sound like trash.
Same.
Yes.
I started with nothing other than a microphone headset, and my audio sounded so tinny. Like, absolutely no bass to it at all. And it's fortunate, really, because of streaming, I was able to upgrade the microphone and the headset and everything. So, it worked out in the end.
Yeah, I was like, how do I do... I sat and watched like 3 hours worth of YouTube videos on how to set up like OBS and stuff. It's like, okay, I think I could do this. Maybe ? After end of it. But eventually you start getting to... I can't say you know what you're doing because the computer will always throw something at you, like your microphone will cut off, it'll reset a setting, your camera will be all wonky. It's like, the hardships that come along with it, but the benefits are like meeting new people and having fun, having great communities. That's the best thing. And people to gush about games with is the best thing ever. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You said you've been streaming a long time? No. You said you were on Twitch a long time.
I've been streaming now, I think, for about 2.5 years. So not really that long. It feels like longer than it is. Feels like I'm doing it for a long time, but I think it's about 2.5 years.
But your list of games that you've played is very impressive. You've played almost all of the Final Fantasy straight through.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. Not many people have played all of them. So
it's taken 2.5 years to do.
But that's an achievement. You should get a little gold freaking star for that. It's like, I played all the Final Fantasies. Ha 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 ha. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm waiting for my badge. Somebody's gonna send me one.
Give me a badge because I totally need it.
This is the only reason I did it. It was suffering. Absolute suffering.
No, it's not suffering. You enjoyed every minute of it because your commentary on battle scenes is so freaking funny. Oh my god, I just sit there and listen.
It's true, I loved every minute of it.
I just sit here and listen to you. I'm sitting here cracking up while I'm writing or doodling in my journal. It's like, oh my god, I love her so much. It's so good. It's so good. So, if you guys haven't followed the swag, you should follow the swag because she's amazing. She finished Final Fantasy 14.
14's the MMO.
Yeah, you can't finish that one. Well, technically you can complete quests.
Technically you can go to the end of whatever the update is on the MMO, but no, I didn't count the MMO as part of the mainline numbered series, so I didn't play because I'm not really an MMO kind of person. So I thought, nah.
RPG, yes. MMM, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
I played tons of World of Warcraft, but that's different.
That is a whole different monster.
Ago, okay?
Yeah, we were talking about that last stream with Banana Pancake. She loved WoW, so it was like, I think either people were like, what was the other one that came around? It was Guild Wars, World of Warcraft, and what was the other one? EverQuest? I think those were the ones at the time that everybody was at least tried once.
Yeah, the free ones, everybody had to go.
All right, so the name. Tell us about the name. What is behind the swag brand?
Well, MiladySwaggins came about when I first joined Twitch. When I wasn't a streamer, I changed my name when I started streaming. So because I wanted like a new name for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
When I first was on Twitch, I was just a watcher. My name was Lady Valhalla. And I wanted a new username because I thought fresh start streaming, new username. So I googled funny cool usernames, right? And I looked at websites of all these funny ones, and I found a username that was Dildo Baggins. And I thought that was really funny, but then I thought I can't have that because Twitch will ban me.
Yes, they will. It is amazing though.
Yeah. And I love Lord of the Rings. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Yes.
I was embracing my inner hobbit. And I thought, I want a sort of Lord of the Rings adjacent username. But, so I went with Swaggins instead of Baggins. The Milady part, I just thought, before my username was Lady Valhalla. Now maybe I could upgrade. And instead of being lady, I could be a milady.
Oh.
So I went with that, MiladySwaggins, and everybody seemed to think it was really funny. So.
It's amazing. You have one. It's like people creating their username or their streaming name. It's like most of them end up being names from something else, like usually WoW or whatever. But the people who like have a good story behind it, it's like okay. I love it. I love hearing about people's names.
But everybody just started calling me Swag or Swags.
Swags.
And I just thought that was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? That's fine by me. If anyone wants to call me Swags, I'm okay with that. By the way, I'd just like to mention that I appreciate that you one of your Twitch tags is Swag.
Yes, I had to put your swag in there. You are the swag. It's like I'm gonna have a podcast with who you talking to today? Swag. Who's swag? It's like you don't know the swag. You just aren't cool enough to know the swag.
Exactly.
Yes, I know I misspelled it now. Thank you very much.
Did you misspell my username?
I did. That's okay. I wrote it fast. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. Nobody saw it at all. No one saw it. It's nothing. It didn't even. And no one saw anything.
No, I didn't see anything.
No. All right, so we're gonna get into the streaming part. What do you prefer to stream? What is your preferred genre to stream?
RPGs, definitely. Whether it's RPGs or JRPGs, the best experiences that I've had on stream have been playing RPGs. And I love especially first playthroughs. Like there is nothing better than streaming a first playthrough. And if it's of an old game, that's even better, because when people come to your stream and you're playing a first playthrough of a game they played when they were a kid, that is so joyful. And I've had people come to my streams when I've been playing something that's a first playthrough of like a really old game. I think it was when I was playing Final Fantasy 9. somebody in my chat actually said to me, I'm really enjoying the fact that this is your first playthrough because it's like I feel like I'm playing it again for the first time. And I thought that was so dope.
I mean,
was like, so dope.
It's an event coming into your stream, you know what I mean? I mean, the first time I was in your stream and I was listening to your commentary, I forget which Final Fantasy we were playing. Oh my god, it wasn't that long ago. You smell the smoke because I'm just trying to think of what it was. But just your commentary during the fight, I was like, oh my god, I wish I had that kind of skill.
It might have been when I was, because I remember you being there at that particular moment. I think it was Final Fantasy 9 actually, and I was fighting a robot thing, and I was doing all the robot voices.
Yeah.
Destruction, imminent, destroy.
It was so good. You're just so you definitely are an entertainer. I mean, streamers can be good at games and good at that, but you are definitely an entertainer. You got that part down in your stream. You're like it's like, yes, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do all these funny voices. Like when you read logs or anything, it's like, yes, it's so cool. I love it. One of my favorite things.
It's just as much fun for me. Because if I was playing that game on my own, I'd probably be doing that.
But that's the best part of doing all the voices and everything, you know what I mean?
It's very tiring, though, I must admit.
Especially if you're reading, like, a highly narrative game.
Oh, yeah. God, my voice is killing me by the end of those,
right.
those streams.
All right, so now we're into our favorite subjects: Final Fantasy and Resident Evil.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us why you like both of them.
Okay, well, I'll start with Final Fantasy, and I'll start with Resident Evil.
Okay.
I did. So, Resident Evil's I've just always been a Resident Evil fan.
Mm-hmm.
Just my whole life. It's like the first game I ever remember completing was Resident Evil 2. And it's just always stuck with me as just an amazing franchise. And I mean, I don't even really know what it is because, I mean, the stories are pretty silly. I mean, they're kind of mad, especially now with all the mold stuff and all that kind of business going on.
Yeah.
But they're just really good games. They're just I mean, there's a few exceptions. But there's a few that weren't so good, but they are mostly very, very good games.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's not a lot to dislike about them, especially Resident Evil 2, which is my favorite, hands down.
So was that OG or is that remake that's your favorite?
Both. Both.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like I think that the Resident Evil 2 remake is almost flawless. In my opinion,
that's what I said.
It's fantastic.
It's a 9 out of 10 game. It is like it the really godsend. In 2019 when it came out, it was the godsend game. It was the game we were all looking for. It had almost everything you needed.
Yep. It was like Resident Evil 2. You know when you're a kid and you play a game, when you're an adult, you remember it and you remember seeing it in your head better than it looked.
Mm-hmm.
Playing Resident Evil 2 remake is like playing Resident Evil 2 as a kid.
Yes.
And seeing it as you would have saw it. Because you never saw the crappy graphics when you were a kid. Because your imagination fills in the blanks.
Right, exactly. What it got me was the every time... the first time I played Resident Evil 2, I was in my college, you know, in the room. And I was playing with a friend, and because I have never heard of it up to that point. And I played it, and I was like, oh my god, it's 2 a.m. I gotta go home and start on my project, which I did. I got an A, but still, I was up all day. Yeah, but we were walking home in the parking lot, and it was like, I saw somebody staggering around. I was like, oh my god, it's a zombie! And I knew this was the game for me. I knew. I've been obsessed with zombies since I was little. My favorite movie growing up was Aliens and Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, great banging movies.
Seriously, there was something wrong with me when I didn't want to watch like all the other things. And I was like, give me zombies and horror and aliens and things. It's like, yes, this is the kind of person I'm gonna be. And my mom was so proud. She's like, look, she's not scared of anything. It's like, not quite. I don't like scarecrows. but still, Resident Evil is in my DNA. It's in my DNA, Swag.
Same. Resident Evil was not only the game that got me into that certain type of game, and especially horror games. It got me into horror in general.
Yes.
Like, I just started, watching horror movies and reading horror books and playing horror games. So it influenced a lot of other media that I consumed as well. And then other games like Dino Crisis and Parasite Eve and stuff like that that's adjacent to Resident Evil. And I played them just because they're a bit like Resident Evil. Dino Crisis is just Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs.
Yes. Parasite Eve is kind of like that, but kind of like an RPG at the same time.
Exactly. So it's,
which is excellent.
Cool. Yeah.
I wish I could still find, or we could still play the Kudelka game, because it was similar to that. It was that these 3 people get trapped in this house with like supernatural spirits, and it has that fighting system like it does in Parasite Eve. So it was really, really cool, but you can't find it now. But
it
was
really familiar to me.
Kudelka?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I might have come across that at some point.
Yeah, I looked on eBay for it. It's like $300. It's like, no, thank you. Okay, no, thank you.
Emulate it?
Maybe. I've been looking all over the place. I recently found a copy of Shivers, which is one of my favorite puzzle games ever. I used to play.
Talk about that before. I'm not familiar with it.
It was from like in the first like computer kind of games. I can't remember how old it is. It was like 1998 or something like that. It was really old. But I was like, oh my god! I was playing it, listening to the music, and I got goosebumps. I got chicken skin from playing it. Like when I hear the save music for Resident Evil, it gives me the same thing. Yeah, I get the chicken skin. It's so good. I'm just praying.
Every time there's a Resident Evil game drop of any kind, it's just immediate hype level.
I know.
For me, and it doesn't matter what it is. It's like if it's got the Resident Evil name on it, I'm like, yes, pump it directly into my veins.
The Resident Evil 4, when that comes out, I actually requested that day off when it released, so I have the whole weekend to play it. Seriously, I'm going to have my eyes bleeding because I'm just going to play it all weekend. I don't care. It's just, no. I spent a week with Resident Evil 2 Remake. Just playing it straight.
I played it like over and over again, like all the different scenario, looking for all the. I got the platinum. I was just like totally obsessed with it.
Speaking of platinum, MiladySwaggins also does challenge runs. Please tell us about that.
Oh yes, I haven't done one in a while, but I started doing. I've always wanted to try speed running. It's one of those things that I think is so cool.
It is.
Like, I just think it's such a cool thing that people do. And I've never really gotten into it myself because I'm an okay gamer. I would say I'm average. I'm certainly not anything amazing at video games. But I thought, what's a game that I am good at? And I know really well. And I was like, oh, Resident Evil 2 and 3, the remakes. I know them really well. So I decided to start doing challenge runs and speed runs of them. And to date, I've done so many. I've done Knife Only. I've done Pacifist. We've done... I'm trying to think of all the ones. Oh, we Pistol Only we've done.
I just found one recently, a challenge that I want to try. That's no mixology for Resident Evil, where you can't mix any like gunpowders or herbs or anything. You have to use it as is. And I think that would be really ridiculously hard, but excellent if you could complete it.
Oh yeah, that sounds really fun. Like, definitely.
Yeah.
So I did those, and then I was doing some speed runs as well. I also loved breaking games with mods, so I did that for a while.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun, like changing the zombies into Teletubbies and stuff like that. But yeah, that's definitely something that I've done. I've done the only other challenge runs I've done that weren't for Resident Evil. I did some challenge runs for Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Oh.
As well, a while back. That was hard. That very hard. I did a run where I wasn't allowed to hide.
Oh, basically. No hiding.
No hiding.
Oh.
No.
Well, that would suck if you were playing Alien Isolation and you weren't allowed to hide.
Oh, imagine that as a challenge run. I wonder if
I just gave myself a challenge to try.
Do it.
But
do it, you must.
I have to try. But yeah, I've always wanted to do a speed run, but I am slow. I am a slow person.
A good way with Resident Evil 2 is a for me personally a more enjoyable speed run than 3.
Yeah.
But 3 is easier because it's quite linear.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's not a lot of puzzles in Resident Evil 3 Remake either. So there's only one, the subway station puzzle. So it's quite straightforward. You just run through the game, and it's quite easy. And if you wanted to try sort of getting your feet wet with it, then you can try doing it in just an easier difficulty. So try it with like the easiest difficulty with maybe New Game Plus weapons.
I did walk only for Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Oh, I've never done that one. That sounds good.
Oh my god. Having Mr. X right behind you, because if you just keep walking, he won't hit you. He'll swing, but he won't hit you. But it's just having him right at the back of your neck the entire time. It's like, oh my god!
Menacing.
It is menacing. I tried it with the Resident Evil 3. It's really difficult. I haven't yet to beat it with the walk only, but...
I don't know how you could do it with 3 because of Nemesis.
I mean, you can still walk. I mean, you'd have to, like, knock him down every time, but
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, speedrunning, I'm too slow. I'm too slow, and I'm pokey, and I'm always doing something else. And I'm always distracted.
Try that one now.
Yes.
You mentioned it.
Yes, do it. Yes,
It's been too long since I played Resident Evil on my channel either. I think my audience was getting sick of it because I was playing it so much. So I sort of retired it temporarily, but maybe it could come back. It could come back for a bit.
Yeah, I usually... that's my comfort game in my channel. I've played it, like, maybe 26 times, 30-something times since I started streaming, and I've only been doing it almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So
when I started my channel, I played Resident Evil more than anything else.
Right. And you said that which one is your favorite? You said 2 is your favorite?
2, definitely.
2 is your favorite. So what is the one you don't like at all?
Controversially? 4.
4?
I don't like
Really?
4. Yeah, I know
Tell
that's
us
a
why.
controversial opinion.
No, we like that. We like that. It challenges the brain. Why don't you like it?
For one thing, I resented, and still do, the fact that Resident Evil went more in an action direction than horror.
Yes. Yeah, that made a lot of people mad.
Yeah, and I didn't find Resident Evil 4 at all scary. I just wasn't scared by it. And I thought the plot was a bit naff. That was basically, it wasn't for me. However, Resident Evil is going more in the horror, in the action direction now. Like Resident Evil Village didn't scare me, apart from Lady Demetresca, but the rest and the baby part.
Yeah, those are the 2. Actually, I was good. I loved it because of Lady D, but
yeah, Lady D is amazing. She's one of the best Resident Evil villains ever.
Yeah, but we don't talk about the baby in my channel because that thing's terrifying.
Fair enough. But it is going in, like, Village didn't scare me, and it was more actiony, but I loved it. So I think I've gotten over that a little bit now. I'm like taking it for what it is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna try 4 Remake and see how I get on with it, whether it redeems itself, if you know what I mean. Well,
I cheated a little bit and I watched a little bit of the gameplay, and it's darker and a lot more creepy. So I think they fixed that action part, and they took the time. What are those called? Quick time events. They took those out.
Yeah.
I hated them. I hate them so bad.
Yeah.
But
no, I didn't particularly like 6 either very much.
I don't think anybody likes 6. They play it just to play with somebody else.
Yeah.
That sounds suggestive, and don't take it the wrong way, Chad.
I couldn't get anyone to play it with me, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to play the game on my own. No one wanted to play that crap with me. They're like, no, I'm playing that.
It's like playing Operation Raccoon City. Everybody's like, why would you play that garbage? Because it's good garbage, okay? It's just playing. It's playing the opposite side. You get to actually play Umbrella Operatives, cool ones at that, with really cool names. So it's like yes, but it's almost.
Excuse me, but I happen to like garbage. Okay.
Yes, we like garbage.
I like it.
Everybody has a handful of garbage games that they love to play.
Oh, 100%.
Yes, mine is Operation Raccoon City, Fear 3, Dead Space 3. Well, Dead Space 3 was just not as great as the other 2. Sorry, but it's fun to play with other people. So you know what I'm saying? If you can play it multiplayer, then it makes 100 times better. And I just went off on a tangent. I'm sorry, Swaggy.
No, don't apologize. I like your tangents.
But as we were talking about Resident, what you were saying earlier about you were completely against it, you had hatred and you were biased towards it. It's like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it. I was the same way with when 7 come out. It's like, that's not Resident Evil at all. It just has the name on it. And then I learned.
Skeptical.
Yeah, I was learning to like it because it's like, okay, they're trying something new. They want it to be more scary. So I was like, okay, I like it. I can't play it because I get motion sickness, but I like to watch people play it because Jack is terrifying.
Seven absolutely saved the franchise for me.
It did. It did.
Yeah, because when I got to 4, 5, and 6, 5 wasn't awful, but I still didn't love it. And then I got to 6, and I was like, I might be done with Resident Evil. This might be it for me. Like, I don't think I can, as heartbreaking as it is, I don't think I can keep playing these games. I'm not enjoying them anymore. And then they dropped the trailer for 7, and I was like, what the hell? Like,
Shiva was the best thing about Resident Evil 5.
but then it looked like horror, like legitimate horror.
Yeah, it's
and I thought, you know what? I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I could only play it in bursts of like 20 minutes because it was so intense. It was so intense. I was like tensed up on my seat playing it the whole time. And I had to stop playing it and like take a breather and go outside or whatever. And then come back in and play a bit more. And it's the scariest game I've ever played. I really think it is. It's the scariest game I've ever played. And it's so good. It's really good. I think I preferred Village to 7. But I really, really like 7. I loved Village.
Yeah, sadly I can't play that one either.
Have you tried the third person mode?
Yes, somebody even purchased it for me so I could try it. It still makes me sick. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Weird.
I have to have the field of vision way out when I play games. And this it's just capped off. It's capped off, and I can't play it. I mean, I even pushed myself way back in the chair so I could, like, you could tell the difference, because like my brain is like saying nope, you can't do that. There's some games I just absolutely cannot play because of the motion sickness problem. But
that is such a huge shame.
It is.
It's such a good game.
It is. I was praying that the new remake wouldn't be on that same engine, or I'm gonna die. It's not. It's on the Resident Evil 2, the kind of that engine, so I should be able to play that. Hopefully, because that's expensive. Yeah, because I bought Village, and it's like I just wasted all that money. But the scariest game I ever played was Fatal Frame. The first Fatal Frame nearly made me pee my pants.
Well, I've never played a Fatal Frame game.
Oh my god. I don't know how you are about Japanese horror games, but it is the scariest thing I've ever played in my entire life, and I will never say anything.
I don't think I've ever played a Japanese horror game, so I'm not sure if... I mean, maybe I'll try it one day.
You should, Swag. You should, because I think you might like it. It's got puzzles in it. It's got some creeps, but your only tool to defend yourself is a camera. So.
Yeah, it seems cool. I've always been sort of side-eyeing it as a possible game to play.
Side-eyeing it? I love that. I love that. But yeah. But, I was going to say something, but I completely forgot it. Final Fantasy. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Or I could talk about Resident Evil all day, because you know I could.
You know, the whole podcast would just be Resident Evil if we
I had one. It wasn't enough time. It was almost 3 hours long. It's horrible. I could just go on and on and on and on. It's horrible. All right,
well,
so
same.
Out of the umpteen Final Fantasies, which one is your favorite?
See, that is such a big question,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one that I've been back and forth so many times, because I'm one of these people where if I play a game, I have to let it sit with me for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I
gotta marinate.
I have to marinate. I can't give my opinion right away. I have to let it sit, and I see whether or not how long something lives rent free in my head. And at this point, I think Resident Evil, for fuck's sake. I think Final Fantasy VII has won my heart completely.
It is a wonderful game.
Yeah, it's the last one that I just finished.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on Final Fantasy VI right now, which is the last one out of the numbered Final Fantasy games that I have to beat, and then I've done them all. And I've just been thinking about it, like thinking about wanting to know more, like watching YouTube videos about it, and just like being totally obsessed with it, the characters and the story and everything. Before I played 7, I've always said that my favorite Final Fantasy, again controversially, is 13. which is controversial because nobody liked 13 except me. It's not it's actually one of the least popular Final Fantasy games, but it was the first one I ever played. So, and I think that had a lot to do with it because I didn't have any expectations going in to 13. I just thought, oh, it's some random JRPG. I'm gonna play it and see what happens.
7 was my first one. I saw my friend playing Chocobo Racing. And I was like, what the hell are you doing over here? You've been doing this for the last hour. I just hear do-do-do-do-do, this tune. It gets stuck in my head. And he's like, I'm Chocobo Racing. I'm like, you're what racing? What are you playing? He's like, Final Fantasy, let me show you. And then I sat there for like almost a month straight watching him play this damn game. It's like, I want to try it then. And I went and bought it. The 4 magnificent discs that it was back then. And I was like, yes, and that's what I did. For my I'm gonna say my senior year, that's what I did. Summer vacation was all Final Fantasy. It's like, yes, it was amazing.
Nice. I wish I'd played it when I was a kid. I really do. Because I feel like I robbed myself of a really precious childhood experience that I could have had. Mm-hmm. Because if I'd played that game when I was a kid, I would have loved it. Mm-hmm. All the Final Fantasy games that I played, well, not all of them. I didn't like all of them. But I would have absolutely loved Final Fantasy 7. I would have absolutely loved Final Fantasy 9. Like, holy crap.
Like, you and my sister love 9. My sister loves 9. She loves all the characters in 9.
I love 9. 9 was a great experience.
My old roommate loved 8. She loved 8. Everything about 8. I was like, are you sure? She's like, yes. I was like, okay.
Can we just check again that you do? Because it does have the junction system.
Yeah, exactly. What is that craziness?
It's broken is what it is.
Yeah, so I started with 7, 8, 9, then I fell in love with 10. I have a Yuna wall tapestry behind me. I love her so.
Is glorious.
She is beautiful. Fantastic. I love her character, and it's like, okay, so it's like, all right, we're gonna have all of these amazing characters. We have Waka, and it's like, oh, so good. It's just so good, and it's lush, it's beautiful, and yeah, great. Yeah,
it's so good.
And then they did X2 was kind of like a slumber party for girls. Wasn't very sure about that one.
The less I say about 10-2, the better, I think.
Okay. You have our complex opinions here.
We're gonna start to rant.
We're gonna start some rant. Oh, we like rants on this channel. We like opinions. So why don't you like X2?
What were they thinking? It's awful.
Oh, Vivi, we got a Vivi lover in chat.
Vivi
rocks.
And should be protected.
Yes, we need to protect the VVs of the world because they are so cute. And I loved Red 13 in the remake. He is so funny.
He's great. Yeah.
Have you played the Final Fantasy VII remake yet?
Sorry?
The Final Fantasy VII remake. Have you played it?
Yes, I actually played the Final Fantasy VII remake, the first part of it, before I played the original.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah. And I kind of knew what was going on, but kind of didn't. I actually, obviously, I just finished the original, and I'm playing through the remake again now.
Yes, it's so good.
And I'm picking up on so many more little things that I understand that I didn't before. It's definitely a different experience playing it knowing and not knowing. But it's great. I love it.
You know, hashtag Team Biggs. So we're all good. We're Team Jessie over here. We like Jessie. So
really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Ooh! How dare you? I'm getting off your podcast right now. But anyway, it's okay. But I honestly haven't played any.
I'm an Aerith girl. I love Aerith.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, she's precious.
She's precious. Also needs to be protected.
Yes.
But I haven't played any after. I played a little bit of 13, but didn't get that far into it because something else came out that I wanted. So anything after that, I haven't played.
I would definitely recommend you finish 13. And 13-2 and Lightning Returns are also very, very, very good. Lightning Returns is all it's not great.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. I didn't like 15, actually. I I didn't dig 15 at all, so I'm very excited about 16.
15. Was that the newest one with all
It's
of the...
not out yet. It's coming out
okay.
this year.
Okay.
It looks great though, because it looks, from the trailers, it looks like it's going to be very focused on the Eidolons and the summons. And it, to be honest, to me, it seems like there's some sort of war going on between these two nations, and then there's these individual people who can summon Eidolons, and the two nations are trying to get them to use them to summon against the other. You know what I mean?
We
So
do like a good war, don't we?
yeah, it seems like a really cool premise. I'm really excited about it, and the visuals are just wow. You know, Final Fantasy games always look good, but you know,
will they be good is the question.
Huh?
I said, but will they be good is the question.
I hope so. I really hope so, because after 15 was disappointing to me. So I'm kind of really hoping that 16 will be something to behold.
All right, so you say you also enjoy like JRPGs and all those. And you on your last stream were talking about games that you're going to be playing. I'm so excited that you know what Legend of Dragoon is.
Well, I didn't. See, the thing is, this is part of the reason why I did Final Fantasy Sunday in the first place, because I didn't grow up playing JRPGs. A lot of people, when they talk to me or see me on stream, think that I've been a Final Fantasy fan since forever. I haven't. I only started playing them like 3 years ago. So it's like I didn't grow up playing JRPGs, and I really love them, and I've gotten into them as an adult. So I want to go back and play first playthroughs of all those JRPGs that people have such fond memories of playing when they were kids, like The Legend of Dragoon, and Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go exploring the world of retro JRPGs. And I'm really excited about that, because I have had such a blast with Final Fantasy, playing through all the games. And obviously Final Fantasy's not done, because there's so many more.
Yes, all of the side ones.
Yeah, the side games and sequels and prequels, and there's all sorts of Final Fantasy stuff that I haven't played yet. So
it's not very final, is it?
No, it's
not very final.
It's not going to end until I've played them all, damn it.
But yeah, there's...
started.
I do enjoy your occasional JRPG, like, you know, the Legend of the Dragoon and Octopath Traveler.
I've added that to my list, actually. Octopath Traveler.
It looks really, really good, you know, games like that where you can really like stick your teeth in. It's like, this is a game I'm going to be playing for the next 6 months.
Yes.
Because there's just so much to do in those type of games. It's like you can grind your level out, you can get this kind of armor, you can battle bosses, you can do quests, you can talk to people. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun. I don't know.
Yeah, all the stuff you can find as well. You can they're like little collectathons, some of them as well, so you can explore around and, you know, collect all the things. And one of my favorite things to do is look for Chocobo. I love looking for Chocobo. In every game, the first thing I might wear the Chocobo at. Find them all.
Let's find all of the Chocobos.
Find all the Chocobos and protect them from my
They're
chat.
so cute, though.
To eat them for some reason.
They're so cute, though.
They are they're adorable. I love Chocobo.
Yeah, I have this one friend from high school who loves Final Fantasy. I mean, to almost the obsessive point of liking Final Fantasy. And we'd always argue back and forth about games. She's like, I'm playing Final Fantasy. I was like, can you guess what I'm playing? She's like, if it has to do with zombies, I know what you're playing. We're always arguing back and forth. It's like, we can't say which game is better because it's completely different genre, okay? Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, and it's funny, really, because some people think if you're a Resident Evil fan...
that you can't play the other.
Yeah, you can't be a JRPG fan. It's weird. But it's like, I can do more than one thing.
That's right. I play multiple things. I like Stardew Valley. I like all kinds of games. I even like fighters. Occasional fighters.
Such a vast array of games. I mean, Resident Evil and Final Fantasy are probably my two biggest like passion games that I like love. But that and Dragon Age. As well, and Skyrim.
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 Skyrim. Yeah. You can lose a good year of your life playing Skyrim. Let me tell you.
don't want to live in this world. I want to live in Skyrim.
That's right. I want to live there so I can just get all of the cheese.
Yeah, steal all the cheese. Don't buy it. Steal it.
Yeah, we have to steal the cheese and all of the sweet rolls, okay? Because we need that.
You join the Thieves Guild and you steal the cheese.
That's right. That's the only reason.
You take the cheese to the Thieves Guild and you dump it in that circle in the middle of the Thieves Guild until it's full of cheese.
Have you ever played the Kingdoms of Amalur? It is like kind of. You have. Oh, I haven't met many people who have actually played it. I really enjoyed that game.
It's pretty good. It's underrated.
It is, yes.
Definitely. It's definitely underrated.
Yeah, it's one of those games that just popped out of nowhere. I was like, hey, let me try this. And it's like, ooh, let me throw these magical rings of death. I love this game. Okay, yeah, I'll stop talking about weird things now. Anyway, we are doing a podcast here. So what is your favorite stream to date? One that sticks in your head the most.
I couldn't, for this, pick out just one stream.
Okay.
Because it's like, first of all, I have the memory capacity of a goldfish, and I don't
Okay.
remember.
That's all right, so do I. We have goldfish brain.
One thing that I do remember having a blast with was when I streamed. There was a series of streams when I streamed my Renegade playthrough of Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, and that was just an absolute blast because basically I created a character and her name was Karen Shepard.
Karen.
Yeah, and Karen was the biggest bitch in the galaxy.
I love that. She said the word. See, I'm sorry. Queen 17KB there is a huge Mass Effect fan. She's huge.
Mass Effect is amazing.
Whenever you say Mass Effect, she pops back into the chat. See?
And I did a whole complete renegade. So the whole point of the streams were every decision I made had to be as renegade as you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Just every single thing. Which was really hard because I love Liara Tassoni and being horrible to her was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Aww.
But I had to do it. But I basically created Karen Shepard, and it's great because not only she's become a meme on my channel now. I have emotes of Karen Shepard. Like everybody loved her. And she was the playthrough was just the most fun I can remember having on Twitch. It was just so much fun. My chat was loving it. We played through all 3 games as the same character from beginning to end, and just was as renegade as possible. And it was so much fun. And we will be doing it again when Mass Effect 4 comes out, 100%. And when the new Dragon Age comes out, there's going to be a Karen in that too. It's become a thing now. It has to be done. BioWare Karens.
What is it about playing evil characters that's so fun?
It is fun, but I consider, for me personally, for games like Mass Effect, I consider the Renegade playthrough like a meme playthrough. I don't think it's canon, if you know what I mean. Like, I think that the Paragon playthrough is the canon playthrough, or at least it is for me. So what I usually do is, because I love those games so much and I'm very serious about enjoying them, I'll do my off-stream playthrough first and play Paragon. And just enjoy it for myself, and then Twitch gets the meme run with all the lols and Shepard punching reporters in the face and stuff like that. That's for Twitch.
I envy the streamers that have a signature character or a signature game that they played that somebody immediately goes, oh, I remember a streamer that played this or that. Like Jen, like Shotgun Jen was talking about. She was the first stream I ever went into hers was she was playing Fable and she was playing a character called R Space. So that's what I was like immediately. I must follow this person. Like when I went into your stream and you were playing Final Fantasy and you were doing this crazy ass robot voice commentary. I was like, that's what I need to do. I need to follow this lady right now because she's amazing and her name is freaking great. It's like Swaggins, she's swag. So I have to follow her. So I envy people who follow that have a signature thing about their channel besides loudness.
It's just, I totally get that because I didn't have one for the longest time, and I honestly think it's just something that happens like organically, because I didn't intend to have like Karen Shepard be a thing on my channel that people like meme. It's just that I created, when I was creating my character, I was like, you know, who's the biggest, you know, wanker that we can make here? Like, we need to make this real renegade son of a bitch. And everyone in my chat was like, you know, Karen Shepherd.
Karen.
Yes.
Perfect.
And yeah, it just became a thing, and it's been a thing ever since. It's like there's that and the chocobo thing where my chat wants to eat
Chocobos
them.
aren't food.
Yep, chocobos are friends, not food.
We need to get that in the swag bag.
I have a t-shirt of it in my merch store.
I know you do. I'm waiting for the bag so I can actually have a bag, and I will take photos with this swag bag, but so I can call it my swag bag.
I'll get you the swag bag. Don't worry, it's coming.
You know I will be first in line. I'll just smack you with my water bills. Here, take it! I don't care how much the shipping is. I want it. I love that too, that you're the first person that had me thinking about having merch at all. It's like, I don't think I have a community that wants merch. Especially I have those people that are in different places, and that shipping is insane. But I had me thinking about that.
Merch is not worth having if you're doing it for money, because it makes no money. Like,
I know,
financially, it's rubbish. But for me personally, the reason I wanted it is because I thought it would be, if anyone wanted to buy it, I thought it would be cool to just have them own something that's from my channel. And none of my merchandise has my like username on it or logo or anything like that. So you could wear it, no one would even really know that it's Twitch merch. But it's an in-joke from my channel. So I have like the Chocobo shirt and the Karen mug, and it's like an in-joke.
I love that.
You know, if you know, you know. So people.
The insider joke.
I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, I love that. Excuse me. Now, here's an interesting question. I just added that randomly. If you could add one thing to Twitch, what would it be?
They're never going to do it. They're never going to do it. But the thing that I would want Twitch to add, especially for smaller streamers, is the ability to forego payment to opt out of ads.
Yes.
Yes. So basically, for the pittance that you get for running ads on your channel, which for small streamers is not worth having, it's like, you know, you'd be lucky if you got like 69. Well, I actually got 69 pence.
What a number!
Yeah.
I love that. She's like, just 69 cents. Like, okay.
69, yeah.
69.
But it's not worth it. I would rather just not have ads on my channel at all.
Right.
Which is going to help my growth, because ads alienate new viewers when you're a small streamer.
If you raid somebody and then they have ads pop up, they're gonna leave. They don't want to watch the ads.
Exactly. And people, if you've got a small amount of viewers, let's say you're streaming and you've got like 2 or 3 people watching, the likelihood of somebody sitting through an ad to get to a stream that doesn't have a lot going on it, like they know that there's not going to really be a very active chat and stuff like that, is so small. So it really does damage you as a small streamer. And so, yeah, the ability to opt out of that and just say, I don't want ads on my channel. I'm fine with not receiving the payment for it. They'd never do it, though. They never do it.
No.
But it would make such a big difference.
It would. It would, because it's such a deterrent to have to listen to ads. And the bigger streamers like to put them right in the dead section when you're really into the game. It's like, do you have to do that now?
Well, the bigger streamers actually make money.
They do, but it's still annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to sub to you because I'm broke.
Exactly. And you could say that removing ads might damage your sub count, but I honestly don't think that's why a lot of people sub. But a lot of people sub just because they want to support you as a streamer.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that it removes ads is a bonus.
Yes.
But that's not the main reason I think a lot of people sub. Most of the time they just sub because they like you and they want to support you. And they like emotes.
Yeah. That was one of the when I made affiliate, that was the only thing I cared about. I couldn't care less about the money, although it is nice now. But the emotes, I have an emote problem. I love emotes.
I like emotes. Yeah, that was the same when I started. When I got affiliate, I was like, yes, emotes.
Yes.
And then I realized I have all these emote slots and I don't know what to do with them. So it's a bit difficult sometimes to.
See, they're making fun of me in chat because they know how many emotes I have. Yes. But emotes are it's like a part of the actual streamer. So they tell you all about their channel if you go in there. It's like, well, I got so many emotes. I have Resident Evil, I got pizza emotes, I got rats emotes. That's what's in my channel. This is what you're gonna get if you come in here. Like yours, you have all those emotes too that say something about your channel. You have your Karen emo and everything. So it's like this is what you're gonna get. And we have Gray coming in with the Bimson. That's a long story behind the Bimson too. But how are you, Gray? Hi. But yeah, see, emotes are a part of the streamer, and it's fun to just use them. But there are streamers that say, I don't want you to use anybody's emotes but mine in my channel. And I'm like, excuse? Why? So weird.
I've known people ban people from their channels for using their own channel emotes because they consider it some sort of self-promoting.
Yes. But it's
Come on,
not.
get a grip. It's
not.
It's really not.
I'm not saying, hey, come over and watch my channel because I'm streaming right now and I'm in your channel just trying to snake your viewers. You're not doing that. You're okay. I'm just showing this emote off because it's fun and this is how I communicate. Most people communicate through emotes.
My favorite is, oh, thanks for the stream. I've got to go now. I'm streaming.
Oh, don't get me started on them people.
the old, make sure I plug my stream before I leave.
The secret etiquette rules we were talking about earlier, Swag.
Yes.
The ones
that one's just good. That one's just good sense, though. Come on.
I mean, it's like, I know you want to have people follow you, but that's not the freaking way to do it, bro, because you're just gonna piss the streamer off.
Yeah. Plus, nobody's gonna go to your channel if you do that because they can see right through it.
Yeah, they're gonna go cringe. Okay, you just did that. No, why are you doing this again? But yeah.
Exactly.
I don't like to talk about my stream and anybody else's stream. I like to talk about that streamer and how awesome they are when they're in that stream. Like you, I'm like lavishing all these compliments on you. I hope it's not too embarrassing. But yes, I think you're amazing. You're an amazing streamer. And more people should watch you because you're just great content. And we're going to talk about your Swagcast because I've finally got to see her do a podcast, which is absolutely amazing. You are gifted, my dear. You are a gifted caster.
I never would have done it if you hadn't said do it. Like, you were like, oh, by the way, Swags, you'd be really good at podcasts. And I was like, well, Lizzie does a podcast, so she should know who's good at podcasts, so I'll give it a go.
I am not good at podcasting, okay? If you listen to a normal person's podcast, like say on Spotify, you just pick a random podcast. My podcast is absolutely nothing like theirs. Mine is just like
make it bad just because it's not the same.
Mine is just two people talking. That's it. I don't have any uniform or anything like that. I don't have any advertisements behind that weird flyer thing I put out on Twitter, and that's it. It's not like I have minimal effort here.
I think it's great. I like your podcast.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, but I just it's most podcasts are so stiff-backed. It's like, oh my god, I feel so nervous. I have my sweaty pits going on here because I'm so nervous, and I guess I mess up my lines. I forget what I'm gonna say. I go off in tangents. I swear. I burp. It's like I am a human being, and so is the person I'm interviewing. I want them to be as comfortable and relaxed as possible when I'm asking them all of these personally intrusive questions. so that's my podcast.
I must have swore about 6 times during my podcast yesterday.
Yes, I am human. Shut up, Queen. But your podcast was really, really good, really sounding intelligent. Me, I'm like, words? What are those? So you are on your way to becoming great, and I will advertise it. Go follow Swag so you can listen to her Swagcast. She's going to do more fun things. That's good. I'm so excited. And I got off track. No, we're actually get to talk about what's next for your channel, so we can talk about the Swagcast now.
We can, yeah, because that is next for my channel, for sure.
Yes.
So there's the Swagcast, yes. So that the first episode was yesterday. Unfortunately, I lost the VOD, but because Twitch is stupid, and so am I. But we, it was really good. It was I have a co-host, so it's not like an interview. It's more like just a host. So I have someone to bounce off of because I don't think I could do a podcast on my own. I'm not sure how people do.
Honestly, it's really hard. I did a rat like training video, like rat care video. It's so freaking hard to fill up all that space. Oh my god, that just switched to a different music. I apologize. Oh, that was so abrasive.
Yeah, but I couldn't do a podcast on my own, so I have like a different co-host. I mean, it won't always be different. Some people will like make return visits and stuff like that. But I did one yesterday with my friend Dino, and it was called Games of Our Childhood. So it was basically a retro chat. And we talked about the games we grew up with, the consoles we played, stuff like that. I feel like it went well. I think there were some things that I will definitely improve for the next episode, but it was the first one, so I think it went better than I expected.
If you want my comments on it, your everything sounded really good, and even your music was good in the background. I didn't get to listen to much of it because people on the bus were being incredibly loud, and by the time I got home, you were already done. I'm sad I missed most of it. But I got to hear you talk about cool retro games, and everybody. I mean, I'm a big fan of the retro games. I mean, like Command and Conquer and all of those type of old games. So I really enjoyed listening to stuff like that. And the topic oriented podcasts are a good time. Like I did one with Queen 17 and Shotgun Jen about zombie survival possibilities, like what you would do in a zombie survival.
Cool. That's really cool.
It was really fun to do. But problem is once you get me talking about something, I never shut up. But I guess that's good for a podcast. But I think you're on your way, Swag. I think you're on your way for a good thing. We can have some of the Swagcast merch and everything. But I'm all for it.
It was really good. I'm looking forward to the next one. The next one will be Final Fantasy.
Of course.
And I know I've already asked you to do one with me so we can continue the very, very long Resident Evil chat, because it will be a whole podcast rather than
I am very honored to finally be on someone's podcast. So thank you very much for inviting me.
It will be a lot of fun, yeah. Other than that, the podcast, obviously, for my channel, there's obviously Final Fantasy Sunday is going to be changing soon.
Okay.
Because I'm outnumbered Final Fantasy games. So it's going to be JRPG Sunday.
Oh, yes, yes.
Forward. You'll still see Final Fantasy, because, like I said, there's spin-offs and sequels and all that kind of stuff. But I will be mixing in other JRPGs as well. So keeping with the theme of sort of classic retro, not just retro JRPGs either. I could play modern ones and like new ones and stuff like that. But I mostly want to stick to the older ones because I want to play all. Like I said, I want to play all the ones that I missed as a wee one.
A wee one. I like that, as a wee one. So if I don't even know why I asked if is a partner, is Twitch partner anywhere in your mindset, in your dreams, your goals, whatever?
No. I don't think so. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say if I was, if I got to the point where I was partner, I would be like, oh, no, thanks, I don't want it. I would take
I don't want it.
And I would be grateful for it. But I am aware of my, I don't have expectations above my station with it. I'm happy with where I'm at. I've got a really cool community, and I have fun with it. And I've always said that the second that Twitch stops being fun is the second I'll stop doing it. And it doesn't matter if I was making like money out of it. It makes no difference to me. I just want to be having fun with it. That's the whole reason I started, and that's the most important thing. And I am having fun, and I love my community, and I love the how they've embraced, especially with my embracing all the JRPGs and the Final Fantasy stuff. People have really embraced that and run with it, and it's a lot of fun.
Good to hear. Which is strange, but the 3 seasons that I've been interviewing streamers, only about like 20% said, yeah, well, I'm gonna strive for partner. Everybody else is like, nah, don't really care. And I find that fascinating.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where when you've been streaming on Twitch for more than a couple of years, and you get to a certain point where you realize that the partner is, yes, achievable, but also quite unlikely. So you sort of make your peace with the fact that you're probably never going to get it.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is when you get to a more comfortable point as a streamer. When you stop wishing for things that are probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And just accept that if they did, you'd be like, yay, I'll take
It's like, know your place.
Exactly. Stay on your station.
I'm gonna stay down here on the bottom where the people are chill, and I don't have to worry about having 75 people in my fucking chat. Thank you very much.
My brain would explode if I had that many people in my
I had a raid once if somebody brought in 100 and something people, and I almost exploded. I was like, oh my god, why?
That has happened to me. Somebody raided me with 190 people.
Then you get the epidemic that streamers get when you're a small streamer, and a bigger streamer raids you of something called streamer brain. You forget how to speak. So it's like, you sit there and go, what happened? And you just forget to speak, and you get all sweaty. And it's like, oh god, now I sound like an asshole to all these people who just came in.
Yeah, it's really, really overwhelming. I think I could handle it better now, but when it happened, I'd been streaming for like a week.
Yeah.
I wasn't even an affiliate yet, and I was completely overwhelmed by this, like, hundreds of people in my chat suddenly, and I was like, what the hell? No, go away. It's too much. I'm just trying to play Stardew Valley. I don't need this.
Stardew Valley. Yes, everybody must play the Stardew. But yeah, that's just, it's just so uncomfortable. I think more than like 25 people in your chat makes my eyeballs bounce. Okay, it's like, how do the streamers above my station, I should say, the people with like 10,000 followers, they're like, how do you even focus on the stream? It's like, how do you do that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I really struggle if my chat is. I love it when my chat is busy and chatty. You know, it's great because it makes for a more lively stream. But I love it when my chat is busy, but they're talking to each other. If you know what I mean? Because the great thing about that is, like, it's like the chat are there for you. They're enjoying your content, but they're also having a nice little chat in your chat. And you don't necessarily always have to be involved in it, so you can relax a little bit. But I've had situations where my chat has been sort of bombarding me a little bit with quite like questions and stuff like that, and I've been like, I love chatting with my chat, but oh my god, I actually like have to take a breath sometimes. Like,
yeah.
I can't. And if I had, I do not know. I think the only way the bigger streamers do it is by ignoring 90% of their chat, which is, you know, I wouldn't like to have to do that.
Yeah. But you can't actually talk to everybody.
No,
you'd go nuts.
No, sometimes you just can't. It's impossible. But the great thing about having a chat that's not as busy is that you can. You can respond to everyone. You can talk to everyone. You can read everyone's chat. So sometimes it's nice to be a smaller streamer. It
is. Also, with the smaller streaming communities, you make amazing friendships with the people, your regulars in chat. And then when you raid somebody else, you take your regulars over to them. And then they're like, oh, this person's awesome. And they become a regular there. And then that person becomes a regular at the next one. So it's just an amazing circle of friendship that you create. Like, I call them my sister communities.
Exactly.
I love it.
I've gotten so many of my regulars have come that way. Like from other communities. Or through raids, or you know, just from a mutual friend or something like that. So it's really cool. You do create a sort of, and there's the great thing about being a streamer as well is that you end up having, like you said, like sister channels. And there's like channels that you know and you know their community, and you sort of share a lot of the same people. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts about Twitch is making this gigantic like family of misfits. It's amazing. It's like, can you imagine all of us in one room trying to talk all at once and hug and cry and be like, oh my god, you're so awesome, and can you imagine that? Yeah, no.
It would be chaotic.
It would be very chaotic. All right.
I'd just be sat in a corner like, too much,
overstimulated. Back up.
Don't touch me, Alex. It's away.
Do not touch the swag. I'm too swaggy for you. Yeah.
Do you know how much this hoodie costs? Get away.
All right, so 5 tips for noob streamers, not strainers, streamers.
it's first of all, don't be afraid to try it. Like it's one of those things where I feel that there's a nerve, there's a stress involved, and like a nervousness and an anxiety in streaming on Twitch. And you know, don't be afraid to try it, because chances are your first few streams, they're going to be trash anyway. Just accept it. Like, they're not going to be good.
It's true.
Like, anybody who comes to me, any streamer who comes to me and says, my first stream was amazing, you lying.
You liar!
You're lying to my face. It was crap and you know it. Your
That's right.
audio was off. Your camera was blurred. Your game capture card wasn't working properly. Always something is going to go wrong. And if you just accept that, give it a go. Get as many people that you know to support you in it, because it will help.
Yeah.
So if you have friends that will come and talk in your chat just to make it easier for you, and stuff like that, like try and get a bit of outside Twitch support. I would say that. Another thing I would say is, and the sooner you do this, the better, because it took me a long time to learn this lesson. Do not focus on your numbers at all. Like, the sooner you stop doing that, the better you'll feel. Like, if you're the kind of person who's looking at your view count, staring at your view count, you know, obsessing over your follow count, you know, obsessing over any kind of numbers that are on your Twitch, you are going to make yourself so unhappy
and sick.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just it gives you anxiety. It's horrible. It does. And when I first started streaming on Twitch, it took me a long time to learn that I don't have my view count on. I have it turned off. I never know how many people are watching me, because I noticed that my commentary will change depending on how many people are watching me.
Oh.
So if there's not a lot of people watching me, I become low energy. And my commentary, because I'm thinking, why am I putting all this effort into being, you know, the high energy and wasting this energy when there's no one watching me? And then I get all annoyed and depressed, because I'm like, oh, I suck. No one wants to watch my streams because I suck. And it's just not a good feeling. So what I do is I turn my follow count off, and I just imagine that there's a lot of people watching me. So that way I can keep the energy up, because I'm imagining that I'm entertaining a large crowd of people. And that keeps it consistent all the way through the stream, although it's exhausting.
It is.
Yeah, but I'm able to keep it consistent if I don't look at it. And I do obsess about my follow count. I have not lost that habit.
Bad.
Yeah, I obsess about it. Whenever it gets close to hitting a landmark number, I start getting really obsessy about it. Until it goes over that number, and then I forget about it for a bit. But I still do that, and I shouldn't, but I do. It's just a habit that's hard to break, but it's definitely something that, try and learn it quicker. If you're just starting out streaming, try and learn that lesson quicker, because you'll save yourself a whole lot of annoying
ulcers.
anxiety.
Save yourself the ulcers.
Yeah, exactly. I would also say that you should try to lower your expectations as well. And I think that's kind of a big one, because a lot of people start streaming imagining and thinking that they're going to be the next Pokemon or the next XQC, and their channel's going to blow up, and they're going to be able to quit their job and date a supermodel. And it's like they get all these ideas in their head that they're going to be this huge Twitch star. That is such a small percentage. I'm not saying it won't happen, but it's such a small percentage of people that actually get to that point. Because Twitch is a big place with a lot of people streaming, and you have to, getting noticed is difficult. Like, really, really difficult.
Indeed, yeah.
So I think you have to lower your expectations going in, and just accept that, you know, just accept that whatever happens will happen, and don't obsess over what you think might happen, or think that, because you'll just get depressed if you do that.
The comparison sinkhole is my downfall. I compare
yourself to other streamers.
Yes, more popular streamers who have all kinds of cool gadgets and audio equipment and cool stream deck things, and I'm like, figured out how stream labels work. What the heck? I am so behind and no one likes me. You know, that horrible, wrenchy feeling in my stomach, and then I have to yell at myself, stop that! Stop it! You are cool in your own right.
Dude, but I still don't know how stream labels work. Like, as far as like, I kind of do that too, but I don't know, I kind of do that too. And I will look at someone's stream, other people's streams who are doing better than me, and I think, I'll watch the stream, and I think, I'm not really doing anything that different. So why am I not getting that kind of, you know, success that they're getting? But it's not a healthy, it's not healthy to do that.
It's not, it's horrible.
Really not. It's horrible. It feels horrible. It's not fun to do that. It's definitely, it's hard to stop though sometimes. I appreciate that. It's hard to stop doing
and then I go into my chat and ask what I can do, what's wrong with my stream, did it suck in to my mods, and then they smack me. And they're like, what's wrong with you? Stop it. So I have constantly, they're constantly reassuring me, because not only do I have anxiety, but I also have this problem where it's like I'm not doing enough, I'm a failure, blah 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 going on. So it's always good to have some cheerleaders in the background to pump you up when you feel like shit.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
you have to be content with what you've got.
Right.
I think that's the most important thing.
Yes.
Because you have to remember that there's so many streamers out there, and there's so many streamers out there. And God bless them, who are streaming to no one.
Yes.
They're streaming to absolutely no one. And if you're streaming to anyone, you should be grateful for that.
Right.
Because that's more than a lot of other people have got. And these people who are streaming to no one, they might not necessarily be bad at streaming. There's just so much traffic and so much to compete with that happens. You know, they might be the nicest person and best streamer, and they just can't catch a break, and that's just an unfortunate truth of Twitch. But you really do have to try and be grateful for what you got. I'm very grateful that anyone watches my streams. Honestly, if I've got even a few people in my chat, I'm grateful for it, because I'm like, you know, thanks for being here and just supporting me and keeping me company.
You know what warms my heart? That very first person that pops in your stream before you actually go into your stream, that person that's waiting in the just starting screen, that's like, hi, I'm here. The first people are godsends. They make you feel like, oh, I'm not streaming to no one. Your heart eases just a little bit. And those people they save your anxiety and stress and pain that you feel of having to stream to no one. So,
well, I have a phenomenon with my stream, and I've not been able to figure out why it happens and how to prevent it. And the phenomenon with my stream is that I rarely have anybody in my stream or chat for like the first 30 to 40 minutes. And this happens almost every stream.
Maybe your notifications are messed up, because Twitch does that a lot.
It's possible, but then people come in and you know, and then the regulars come in and whatever, and it picks up. But it happens almost every time I stream that my first, even sometimes my first hour is just like dead. And I can't figure out why that's happening. It might be notifications. It could possibly be that.
Because Twitch notifications sometimes don't go off for like 15 minutes, and then your bot can also lag. So you're like, do. Why is there nobody in here? And it's not your fault. It's the dumbass streaming app that's just taking its good old time to bring people in. Like, thank you very much. Thanks for aiding my anxiety, bastard.
But yeah, I think that one about the expectations is definitely something, because I've heard so many other streamers talk about that as well. Talk about when they first started streaming and they thought it was going to be a certain way and it didn't happen. So if you can make your peace with that at the start, then again, you're going to save yourself a whole load of heartache in the long run. But I think another important tip I can give is don't chase the algorithm. And by that I mean don't play games you don't want to play just because you think they'll get hits.
Oh, that trap, yeah.
Yeah, I know people who do that. Not mentioning any names, of course, but I know people who do that, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because if you're playing a game that you do not want to play and you are not enjoying it, chat
They
can
will
tell.
know. They will know.
They will know, yes. Because you can feel the joy and excitement and enjoyment of a game through the streamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed it in myself. Like, if I'm playing a game, like, I've never chased the algorithm, I've never gone down that hole. But I have played games, first playthroughs of games, where I haven't really known what I'm getting into.
Mm-hmm.
And then I haven't liked them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched the VODs back and been like, you can tell that I'm not enjoying this game. Like, you can tell by the tone of my voice, by the way that, by my commentary, like, it just comes across, and it's not as much fun to watch as when I'm playing, for instance, a Final Fantasy game, and then you can tell I'm having the time of my life.
Yes.
So, you know, it's like a big difference, and it changes the whole vibe of the stream. And also, chasing the algorithm, you're gonna get buried by oversaturation most of the time anyway, especially if you're playing a new game.
Oh, that's going to be the biggest problem with the Resident Evil remake, because when it releases, everybody's going to be playing it.
True,
And
if you have a good group of regulars, they'll come to you for it.
That's the thing, though. That's what I said. If you have those loyal birds, those seasoned people in your community, I'm talking like a good fried chicken seasoned, they're going to come in there and be like, I'm going to come watch you play this game because you crazy, okay? You hype when you play this game. Like any Resident Evil game. If I'm playing Resident Evil, you know I'm going to be 120%. You when you play Final Fantasy, you're going to be to 120% too. Because it's just you're going to turn it up and you're going to play it. You're going to all heart. But if you're playing something that you don't like, you're going to be half off. And
the vibe is not there.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fun to watch. And I think it's going to hurt you in the long run. Because
I just really whipped around on that topic. Wow. Holy crap. I was talking about Resident Evil being streamed, but anyway, as everybody's probably going to be, yes, playing it. But I was debating whether to actually stream it or just play it myself and then stream it. You know, like give it a couple days to get everybody petered out on it.
I mean, it's up to you. I don't generally I don't play new releases on stream because I just feel like it's not really worth it, because I think most people are, if they're going to watch it, you're not going to get any new people in your chat probably, because they will go to a bigger streamer to watch it.
Right.
And your regulars, some of them might turn up, but there's also some that might avoid it for spoilers.
Yeah, because they're streamers
Resident
too.
Evil 4 is not really going to be worth avoiding for spoilers because it's a remake.
Yes.
But some games, I mean, like when Final Fantasy 16 comes out, I'm not going to play it when it first comes out. I'm going to wait. Until everybody else has had a chance to play it, and then I'll play it. And it's going to be hard to wait, but it'll be worth it, because, you know, it'll I don't really want to play it on Twitch, on stream, on my own. So, you know, it'd be worth it.
Well, that's all of my questions there, except the off-the-wall question. At the end of my list, I always have an off-the-wall question that has absolutely nothing to do with streaming. Are you ready?
Go for it.
If you could meet anyone in the world, who would it be?
See, that's a difficult question for me, because I'm one of these people who doesn't give a tiny rat's ass about famous people.
Doesn't have to be famous.
Well, can I meet a fictional character?
Sure.
Okay, Claire Redfield.
Of course, Claire.
Claire Redfield. If I was meeting a real person, honestly though, I'd love to meet Ali Hillis.
Really?
Yeah, I would love to meet Ali Hillis because I'm such a fan of the characters that she voices. Like 2 of my favorite video game characters ever were voiced by her. She did the voice of Lightning Farron from Final Fantasy 13 and Liara Tassoni from Mass Effect. And they're like 2 of my all-time favorite video game characters. So I would love to meet her. I would just fangirl a little bit if I did, I think. But
Nothing wrong with fangirling. I fangirl all the time.
I'd also weirdly like to meet Barbara Dunkelman. Because I just think she seems really cool. So I'd like to just hang out with her. But no, I think that is tricky because, like I said, I wouldn't swoon or fangirl over many people.
I want to meet David Hayter.
David Hayter would be cool to meet.
Just so you could talk to me like Solid Snake, just for like 5 minutes, please. Please, I love rough, gravelly voices. It's the ASMR in me. I love rough, gravelly voices, which is probably why I like Pedro Pascal so much. Is rough and gravelly voices. I just love them.
Yeah,
but
David Hayter is cool. He's definitely
pretty cool. But yeah, so that's the end of my list, Miss Swag. So thank you very much for joining me on my humble, really strange podcast. I really had a good time talking to you.
It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me on.
Alrighty-dighty. So you have the choice now to hang on with me, or you can hop off. I know we went over time. I'm sorry, because I just ramble when I do these podcasts about random things. I do apologize. You can hop off if you want, but everybody go follow MiladySwaggins today, or I'll come and bop your nose, alright? Because she's an amazing streamer, and you have to check out her Swagcast. Good stuff, okay? So it's up to you, Miss Swag, whatever you want to do.
I'll stay on for a minute.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna... What am I doing? Talking? I'm talking about something. What was I talking about? Alright, the next coming up for my channel. Alright, we don't have any more podcasts for this month. My next podcast is in March, will be Mikado, which will be actually a streamer's podcast. He's been on my podcast before when we talked about retro games, but he will be back in March. I think he's my only podcast for March, which is strange. I don't know why it worked out that way. But also coming up for our channel, we have a cozy painting, diamond painting stream Saturday and Sunday. Hubby will be taking over! As requested. We will be playing Bioshock, and I am going to be making fun of him the whole time, so you don't want to miss that. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me and the Swag today for the podcast. Let's see who we can pass you off to. Somebody fun, somebody cool. Who we got streaming today? Ugh, excuse me. What do you guys... Oh, what do we got? Always looking for Resident Evil. Always. No matter what. I'm always looking for somebody playing Resident Evil. Let me see. Jen's playing Fable. Angeline's playing Resident Evil 3. Let's go rate Angeline. Have we rated Angeline in a while? We rated Angeline. Angie always plays Resident Evil. She also does amazing cosplays as well. So if you want to check out her channel, she's amazing. She also has a really floofy cat. He's so funny and cute. But give her some pizza love. So I will see you guys on Saturday for some more diamond painting. Remember to be good to yourselves. Make sure you have some pizza or some cake, because there's a party somewhere going on in the world, and you should be in on it, because life is too short to not party and eat pizza. I love y'all. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.